Hello, this is Gina Robinson, and this tutorial will show how to add things from your content library to iMovie 10. So things that include transitions, titles, maps and backgrounds, music from your iTunes library, sound effects, and anything you've created in GarageBand. So first let's focus on transitions. So to add a transition, you'll see it's down here in the content library. Now transitions go in between clips, and they help blend one clip into another with a special effect. So I'm going to double click on transitions, and when I do that, you'll see up here I get different effects. So right now though, I am going to take one of my transitions, say I want to use mosaic, take it and drop it in, and then if I click in between where this little square is, that's my transition. But if I double click on that, I can change the duration of the transition. I can make it go for 1 second, 3 seconds, whatever I want to do. And I have the option of applying that to just that one transition or every transition that I have in my movie. So that's how you would add transitions. So another thing you can add is a title. So titles can go at the beginning of your movie, at the end of your movie, in between clips, or on top of a clip. So if I click here on title, it brings up a bunch of titles, and I have the option of just taking the title, dragging it, and dropping it, say, before my clip. Now, when you put a title any place that's not on top of a clip, it needs obviously a background. So iMovie gives you a black background. If you would like a more visually appealing background than black, you have the option of going to Maps and Backgrounds and choosing a background for your title. So let me erase my title that I put in here, and let me first give it a background. So I could put it on a map, or I can just put it on one of the backgrounds. So let's say I want to pick this background here, which is the curtains. I can take the curtains background, I can drag it and drop it before my clip. Then what I can do is take my title, pick a title that I want. There's different ones. There's just plain. There's ones that, fly in certain ways. So I'm just going to pick this one. I'm going to put it on top of my background there. And then now I have some options. First thing I could do, I see here I have my text here and it's highlighted. I can type something in. So I can say, let's say iMovie tutorial Gina Robinson. I also have a few other options. If I highlight my text again, I can go to font and I can change the font. Okay, and I can change the font. Just make sure you highlight all the text, otherwise it will not let you change the font. Another thing I can do is I can click on the square here, which lets me change my color. I can also click on if I want to do bold, italic, or outline. I can give it an outline. I can also change the font size. So they give you an automatic font, but then you can click and select different font sizes. I can center it, I can justify it, so I could do different things like that. So that's how you would put text before a clip. Now let's put some font on top of a clip, or some text on top of a clip. So let me try this pop-up. I kind of like this one. I'm going to take this, I'm going to drop it on top of my clip. Now, as you can see, it kind of expand across a bunch of clips. And I want to shorten it a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here and I'm just going to drag the end so it's shortened. And maybe I only want it to be on top of this first clip that I have here. Right, so I could do that. Then I'm just going to make sure I click on the font so it brings it up. And it might be hard to see, but double click inside your video and now you can change the font. So I'm going to say now you can again do everything that I did when I put it before a clip. I can change the color, the size, the text, center it, things like that. So you can also put text in between clips. So it's very simple. You just click the one you want to use and you drag it in between your clip. And so now you'll see I have my one clip here, then I have my text, then I have my other clip. And if I again want to shorten it, I could do that as well, and I can click in and type what I want to type. Lastly, you can put text at the end of a movie. So let me move my cursor to the end of the movie. So I'm going to go up to my text options. Now I'm just scrolling down because there is one text called scrolling credits, which I think is really useful to put at the end of a movie. So, you know what, I think I might be all the way at the end of my text. Let's just move back. Let's find scrolling credit. Here we go, scrolling credits. So I'm going to click on scrolling credits. I'm going to drag it and drop it after my last thing. And now I have, so I could put a title, and I could put a person's name and what they did as to make the movie. Another useful thing, sometimes I'll use the credits just to give credit to the photos and the videos that I used in my movie if they were not ones that I took. Or you should also give credit to things that you took, but sometimes I'll just say, like, photo of something retrieved from. So you don't have to use it exactly how it's set up. You can use it however you want. So that's how you add text. Now let's look at maps and backgrounds. So I did show you already how to add a background, but let's say we wanted to add a map. So I can take any of these maps, I can drag it and drop it before a clip, and after a clip, or in between clips. So let me take this map and let me drop it. Okay, and now you have, the great thing about the maps is it's actually useful because you're going to do a route. It's going to show a route. So say you're doing a video where someone's traveling from San Francisco to Rome. I could say Rome, Italy, not Rome, New York. Now I did San Francisco to Rome, and if you play the map, watch what happens. It's showing the route. So that's kind of cool. You can say his journey was from San Francisco to Rome, and then you can have the map. So that's why it's useful to have a map. Next thing is the iTunes library. So with the iTunes library, you can pick music that you have in your iTunes library, and you can drop it into your iMovie movies. So if I click on iTunes, I have a song in here. It just brings up any music I have. I currently only have one song in this iTunes library, but I'm just going to take it. I'm going to click on it and make sure I get my hand so I can drag it, and I'm going to drop it. I could drop it anywhere I want. On top of a video, before a video, after a video, on top of text, on top of a photo. And now I have my music. So you can hear that. You see it's playing? Another thing I could do is sound effects. So iTunes has a bunch of sound effects that you can do, and here's one, ambient. There's auto close door. And if you click here, if you click on the arrow here next to effects, you have things. You could do animals, folly, jingle. Say I did animals, for example. I could do bark, and I can just drag it and drop it wherever I want. And then it'll bark. Another thing we can do is add things from our GarageBand library. I have nothing in my GarageBand, but if you use GarageBand to edit music, you can add things from your GarageBand library. So you would do it exactly how you did from sound effects on iTunes, just take the clip and drag it and drop it. So that is how you add things from your content library into iMovie.